Hello guys, how are you all? Once again I'm back before you with another video, and in this video I'm going to discuss this problem from last Leetcode contest, and it was second question from that contest. And as always I'm going to discuss the problem statement and then its approach of solving it. Then we are going to code it in C++ language. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. We'll start with the problem statement, and it is saying that there exist n rectangles in a 2D plane. You are given 0 index 2D integer arrays, that is bottom left and top right. We'll be having n rectangles, and we'll be having two arrays, bottom left and top right, both of size 2 into n. Bottom left ith element and top right ith element of the array represent the bottom left and top right coordinates of the ith rectangle respectively. So what it is actually saying that uh, uh, let's read few more lines after understanding it more deeply. You can select a region formed by the intersection of the given intersection of two of the given rectangles. So we have to select any two rectangles out of given n rectangles, and then we will find out the intersection if they are intersecting, and you need to find the largest area of the square that can fit inside. So the problem do not end here after finding the intersection. After finding intersection, one more thing that we have to do is that we have to find the largest area of the square that can fit inside that intersection area, and we need to select that region optimally. And what we have to return the largest possible area of the square. All right, now uh, now it is clear what is it is trying to say. It is saying that first of all we'll be having n rectangles. will be not we will not be given this n rectangles in the input. What we are given in input are two arrays, and from these two arrays we will get these n rectangles. The first array is bottom left, and the another array that we are getting from input is top right array. These will be having some values, and each element here is again going to be an array, because each element here is a coordinate, and we know that coordinate contains two values, x coordinate and y coordinate, like this 1 2 and 3 4. I have taken numbers here randomly. Now again, if this bottom left array is having two elements, then definitely this top right array is definitely going to have two elements only. Why? Because two elements here suggest that we are having two rectangles, and these two values are bottom left coordinates of those two rectangles. So when we have two rectangles only, then we are going to have only two top right coordinates, like this 4 6 and 7 8, like this. And here this value represents the bottom left of first rectangle, and this two values represent the coordinate of top right of first rectangle. First rectangle, bottom left of second rectangle, but top right of second rectangle. Alright, now we'll move further. So we are given n rectangles, and in the form of two arrays that are bottom left and top right, and after that we need to find the intersection. So this is until now we have understood the input. Now what we have to do in order to find out the intersection. So the next step that we need to follow is we will create all the possible combinations of two rectangles out of given n rectangles. Create all possible combinations of two rectangles out of given n rectangles. So how we are going to do that? Let's move on to the problem, and let's move on to the constraint. As n value of n here is starting from 2 till 10 to the power 3, so the number of rectangles we are going to have, our maximum number, is never going to get larger than 10 to the power 3. Means these the number of elements in bottom left or top right array is not going to get larger than 10 to the power 3. Means if we try to build all possible combinations of two rectangles out of given n rectangles by using brute force, then we have to apply two nested loops, and we are going to have this many operations that are going to be 10 to the power 6 operation, and we know that we can do around 10 to the power 8 operations in 1 second. So this is not going to cause any time limit exceed. So we are going to follow the same approach. We are going to use brute force, that is two for loops, for generating all possible combinations. Now after generating all possible combinations, what will be our next step? Next step will be, we have two rectangles. Now we have two rectangles there in the form of their two coordinates from each rectangle, two coordinates for bottom left, two coordinates for top right. Now we have to find the current two rectangles which are we are having currently. Are they intersecting or not? Intersecting? Not intersecting. There are going to be only two cases: intersecting or not intersecting. If they are intersecting, then we have to calculate that area, then we have to find out the maximum square in that. But if they are not intersecting, then we can simply return 0. It was given in the problem. Now if they are intersecting, then we will find out side and side of the square, then we will find out the area of maximum area of the square. But the question that is at the present moment before us is that how we are going to find out these two rectangles are intersecting or not. So for solving this fourth step, we need to understand this concept. For explaining this concept, let me draw two lines that are representing coordinate axes, and here I am drawing two rectangles that are intersecting. If two rectangles are overlapping, means this part and this part must be in some relation. And what that is relation is going to be, see, this is the top minimum of the two top right corner. There are two top right corners of two rectangles. First one is this, second one is this. This is the minimum of these two. And we have two bottom left coordinates. First one is this, second one is then, and it is the maximum of out of these two. So it is actually max of two bottom lefts, and it is a minimum of two top rights. Okay, so we'll have 4 coordinates, and out of these we'll find maximum and minimums. And after finding these maximum and minimums, if this minimum one is smaller than this maximum one, this simply means that they are not going to intersect. I'm again repeating it. Listen it very carefully. This is very important. If this minimum of two top rights is smaller than, means it will come here somewhere here. If it is smaller than this max of two bottom lefts, means they are not going to intersect, and in all other cases they are going to overlap. So now we have found out how how to identify they are intersecting or not. Now after that, what we'll do, so we have found out that they are intersecting or not, and after that we'll find that side of square that is going to be minimum of the two sides. Let me explain it here in another page. Suppose these are two rectangles and they are overlapping. So these are the two sides of this overlapping rectangle. This is length, this is width. If we want to insert a square or form a square out of this overlapping area, then we can simply choose the smallest of these two sides. If this is smallest, then a square will be something like this, Here I have made nearly equal. Let me make it one less and one large side, like this. Now this length is smaller than this width. Okay, now a square will be definitely something like this, because this side should be same as this side. This is larger, so some portion will be left out. So this will be our required largest area of a square that can fit inside this overlapping area. Okay, so we'll find the minimum of these two sides. So we'll find out the side. First of all, we'll find out the sides of that overlapping rectangles, and then we found, then we'll find minimum side. Then we'll simply return side into side, because we have to return the area of the square, and its formula is side into side. Now we have understood the conceptual part. Now let's try it in practical and see how it is working. Now moving to the code part, as discussed, first of all I'll find out how many rectangles are there. That I can simply do with finding out the size of the given array, like this, bottom left dot size. So there are now I'm sure that there are n numbers of rectangles present here. Now for making all possible combination, I am putting here two for loops, and the first one is start from the starting at 0 until the number of rectangles, that is n. The inner loop, similarly the inner loop will start from the next element, which is the current element from the outer loop, and it is also going to go till the last rectangle, and will keep on increasing by 1. Now at this point inside this for loop we are having two rectangles, and from these two rectangles we are going to find the area. So let name that some, let's give it some name, area. I am taking it long because in the definition of the given function they are returning long, so I am expecting my answer to be of long. So I have taken it, its type as long. Now I am going to call a function intersect, which I will definitely make it later, intersect. Now after this I will pass this function two rectangles, and each rectangle is having two coordinates. So in total I am going to pass four values from here, and what these values are going to be. So first value will be bottom left. I means bottom left of the first rectangle. Now bottom left of the next rectangle, that is going to be bottom left of J. Now top right of the first rectangle, top right I, and after that top right of the other rectangle, that is top right J. Now after that I will get area. If they are not intersecting, not overlapping, then I will get area as 0, and if they are overlapping, then I will get some area, and I have to maximize it. So I am taking another variable here of long type, as I am expecting my answer to be of big size. So I have initialized it with 0. Initially it will be 0, and later I am going to maximize. So answer max is going to be, answer max will be equal to, it is going to depend, if answer max is greater than this area, then same will be, it will remain same, otherwise it will get replaced by the current area. At the end of this function I am going to return this answer max. Now I am done with this function. Now the only task I am remaining with is the creation of this intersect function. Now let's create it. It is also going to return some value, that too of long type. So I have returned here, return here long, then intersect, then I will write parameters here. See, this bottom left I is vector in itself, because it is going to contain two values of each coordinate, that is x value and y value. So these are going to be of vector type. So I am writing here vector int. I am taking them as reference because I am calling this function again and again, and I want to make it fast. So I am taking the values as reference, and I am naming it bottom left 1. Okay. Now similarly I will do for the next value. Here 1 signifies that it is the bottom left of first rectangle. Similarly I will get bottom left of, by reference, bottom left of second rectangle, and similarly vector int, and by reference top right of rectangle 1. So again I'm writing 1, and similarly vector int by reference top right, and as it is going to be of second rectangle, so I have named it, I have put 2 at the end. Now as I have discussed here, that now I have to find the min of two top rights and max of two bottom lefts. Now first let's find out min of two top rights. Writing here the comment min of top rights, that is going to be a coordinate, and I am taking individual values in individual variables, and I am naming it as x1 and y1. So x1 is going to be something like this, max, no, it is going to be minimum value, so min of top right, and I, no, it is going to be 0 because of first value, and top right of first rectangle and top right of second rectangle, the top right to 0. Maximum of this will go into x1. Now y1 again will be equal to top right of first element, and then top right to of again first element, that is y actually. Now after that we'll find max of two bottom lefts, and I am naming them x2 and y2. X2 will be max of bottom left 1 0 and bottom left 2 0, and y coordinate y2 will be max of bottom left 1 1 and bottom left 2 1. Alright, now I have calculated two coordinates, and with the help of these two coordinates I am going to find these two rectangles are overlapping or not. So condition is this condition that I'm going to write is checking if they are not intersecting. So I will check like this: if this x2 means this point, see, it is the x2 is maximum of bottom lefts. X2 is the part of coordinate of maximum of bottom lefts, means this point. If it becomes greater than this min of two top rights, then they are not intersecting. Means if it is greater than or equal to, even if it is equal to, means they are only touching, they are not overlapping, x1, or this y2 is greater than equal to y1, means they are not intersecting, and in that case, as discussed earlier, I'm going to simply return 0. In other case, I'm going to calculate the side. How? Let me write it down so it will become more clear. See, mins are x1 y1, mins are x1 y1. I will write here x1 y1, x1 y1, and this is x2 y2. Now if they are not greater, means x2 is not greater than x1 and y2 is not greater than y1, because even if one of these two condition is true, then we will not move further, we will simply return 0 from here. We are reaching here, means these x2 and y2 are not greater than x1 and y1, means x1 is greater than x2 and y1 is greater than y2. So if x1 is greater than x2, so side can be calculated as minimum of x1 minus x2 and y1 minus y2, like this. And it should be also of long type, as I am expecting my answer to be very large. And after this I will simply return side into side. I have calculated side, and now from that side I am returning the area of the square formed by this minimum side, which I have calculated here in line number 18. Now if I have not made any mistake. It is completed. Now I'm trying to running it to see if it is working, but there is some error. Okay, what is the error? Top right. Yes, top right is not present. It should be 1 here. Again running it. Yes, all the given test cases are passed. Now submitting is to check whether the remaining test cases are passing or not. Yes, they are passing and this code is working absolutely fine. Hope you understood the concept. If you understood the concept, please like this video and subscribe this channel. Thank you.